those, there are two schools of thought. There are those who are saying, look, we've got a constitution. We've got to abide by this. There are others who are saying, well, we're only here to take orders. There is this dispute, this struggle going on within many of these communities. You don't have to answer for anything you want to nod. This is what you're referring to. This is going on behind the scenes. All right. So Ron has some suggestions. Ron, you want to lead us through this or what?
Yeah, I certainly can.
By the way, delegates, those who wish to be considered, want to nominate yourself, that's fine. Or if you want to nominate somebody else, all I need is on that notepad going around is the printed so I can read it. Contact information and just a little bit about that person so that we might contact them for more information. But I've already heard from some people here today that I think would make some fine delegates. And I think this is an excellent idea. I'm not intending to do this by the way. But come out of it, Ron, thank you for this suggestion. Coming out of each one of these meetings around the country with nominations right from the floor. Excellent. Good. Thank you. Yes.
I know you all want to go on this, but Mark and I are not from around here. He would like to do something when we first started that I think needs to be flipped. I don't know where to go with it. When you said on January 20th, things are going to change because of all the repercussions that are going to happen if this man wanted to go up. Is there anything we can do between now and then to be effective in your way?
Right, so there's no I can answer that. So there's no misunderstanding. I didn't say things are going to change. What I did say, change may come, but what I did say was that if he is a usurper and all the evidence suggests he is usurping power, that he's not eligible. Constitutionally speaking, he doesn't satisfy the eligibility criteria. Then you have someone who is not a bona fide. It's not, he's a usurper. He's a proser. He's an imposter. He's a fake. And as such, what appointments does he make that are not void? What laws can Congress possibly pass? Maybe that's a good thing. And so forth. So there are these consequences that can befall, adverse consequences that can befall the country, clearly. Now you say, what can we do? The way the Electoral College works is this. When you vote in November, you don't vote for Mr. Obama. You vote for his electors. And so, like in New York, there are 31 electors. In California, it's 55, and so on. Those are now his electors, the state electors. And on December 1st, the governors certify them. And then on December 15th, which is happening, they all cast their votes. And I assume they've all casted their votes. Even though we, as an organization, sent a package to every one of them. And other people did the same. They contacted these people and said, look, how can you do this? We said, people are very strong in our language. We said, in light of, here's a bulk copy of a birth certificate from somebody born 2 years after Mr. Obama in Hawaii, and this is what his birth certificate looks like. See all the signatures, see the name of the hospital, see all that. Now here's what Mr. Obama put on his website, which was certified by fact check, which is part of the Annenberg, it's an arm of Annenberg, and all of that is partners, okay? So there's a question of conflict of interest. But in any event, it's certainly not evidence of his eligibility. And we said, if all of these requests, he's denied every request to prove his eligibility, if you as a state elector vote for this man, your committee treats it to the Constitution. Okay, so the next step is on January 6th, in the joint session of the House and the Senate. And to count the votes. And all it takes is one member of the House, one or more, and one member, not more, but and one member of the Senate to object. And that joint session has to collapse. They have to go back to their respective chambers, and then they have to deliberate and do whatever they're going to do based on those objections. Okay? Let's say that they count the votes and they're all for Mr. Obama, then he's sworn in on the 20th. So you ask what you can do. You can encourage one member of the House and the Senate. There's a lot of people contacting them already, pointing this out and asking them to state their objections and here's why and so forth. I just think everybody is so fearful of what, the Supreme Court stepped in 2000, took a lot of heat for doing that. There's a huge number of people in this country who feel that the 5-4 vote in the House and the Supreme Court stole the election from Gore and gave it to Bush, and then we had a similar situation arrive in 2004. For that, Mr. Bush's victory there was quite questionable. And so I think there's just a general, oh my God, we did that again. And in fact, I think there's a real fear that if Mr. Obama got a popular vote and it was taken away for some reason, that there will be turmoil in the streets and so on. Anyway, so I just think they're afraid to overturn the rule with 65 people, and it's going to be difficult. So I just assume we tried, we built the record, we petitioned them directly, we petitioned the judiciary, no response. The behavior of the courts on this issue is reprehensible, but it's all part of the record. So I would say, part of what you can do, you've got this January 6th date coming up. Wait, that's what you do there. And maybe it'll happen. I don't know. You're from Iowa. One of our meetings, one of our meetings you'll see on our schedule is in Des Moines. You might check and see if somebody has stepped forward here to make just based on the groundwork in anticipation of the trip. But check the schedule and step up and volunteer. Yeah. I'm going to step outside for a minute, event. I've got something to do with him. We're gone for a while, 10 minutes, 5 minutes. So carry on with Ron here and.
Here's what I'd like to do. I think we could take a break, but here's what I'd like to do before we do that. Just kind of outline the idea to do afterwards. John Rowland brought up the idea that there are people that might want to be representative to this Continental Congress that aren't here today. And what I'm thinking is, that's probably true, but here's what I'm thinking is, we are electing representatives as delegates. We're not, so whoever we get, they still kind of have to be our representatives and try their best to represent, who's sending it. And obviously it's going to be people that aren't happy with what's been, what the government, federal government, and state government, for that matter, has been doing. So anyway, and this room is filled with today. So I think we could come up with some good representatives out here. And if there's somebody that doesn't feel represented in Texas, they can always send us some letters out here and some email to the Taphouse and to our whoever it is that we elect today. And they can certainly take that into account, and all that kind of stuff. So